So now our next speakers are Britta, Waligora and Christian, Günther. They're both from Conpliment, and they have initiated 2 projects within the OI4 Alliance from members for members. Yeah. Please let us know more about this.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to join with you some information regarding the Consortium project. It's a little bit difficult name for me. Consortium project. At the moment, we call it TwinSphere. In the past, we called it only AES platform. To give you a little bit of a context regarding the project, I start with phase 1, and at the end, I come to the phase 2, which we plan at the moment. Phase 1, we start in May last year, and yeah, Conpliment joined in April at the Hannover Ferry, the OI4, and in May we start to work with the work group component supplier. And during the first meetings, we got the feeling that there are great people, great companies, and we find a way to work together. And we have the same goal. We don't want to speak only, we want to build something. And that's why we get a closing together with AS Schneider, Dunkermotoren, IFM, Andresen Hauser and Kübler and Conpliment. And we create, in my opinion, a great idea. With meetings in May, we discuss about a scope, about a possible first version of an AES platform. And during a face-to-face workshop in May, we find out that, yeah, we have the same goal and we want to work together. Within 2 months, we have alignment on a scope for phase 1, and we have alignment on a consortium contract. And yeah, end of July, beginning of August, we start with the implementation. And yeah, I will give you an overview about the scope. About the scope for the phase 1. The goal was an AES platform as a SaaS solution, means a software as a service solution. And not only closed for the consortium partners, it should be open for all other companies. And that was important for all of us, because we know all that as many companies can start easy with the AES, as better the process will be in the implementation of the AES in the complete industry. The scope of AES, for us it was important that we are have a completely conformity with the IDTA specification. We have all necessary APIs, interoperability, it's not my word, would be a very important part for us. That's why we have a close discussion also with the IDTA. We built up a server with repository, discovery and registry service. We built also a validation for AES packages, and later you will learn why it is so important. We have change events, means notification if something changed in an asset administration shell. And yeah, also, if you build mandate capability and you have focus on sharing information, product information, security is very important. That's why it was also for us very important to include security aspects. We make a threat risk analysis on that. Yeah, it's really important for us to build a secure solution. And during our previous projects, we learned it is very important to focus on high scalability at the beginning. And that's why it was also a very important thing. We add some additional features like a viewer where you can have a look on the content of an asset administration shell, a VDI 2770 adapter to share the documents, especially to ShareCat. And yeah, we found out the AES validator would be very important. The platform itself can handle each submodel which follows the structure requirements from the ITTA specification. But for the validation, we have implemented these, is there a point? I don't know. These submodels in the first step. And we had a really great challenge. In November, only 3.5 months later, we have the first very important point for our solution. We have a first version which we use also for the Follow the Twin challenge on the SPS, and it was a great success. And in December, we have the first MVP version live, and in January, we start with the service period. And at the beginning, we have an AES platform. Now it's called TwinSphere. And with the additional components, it's the TwinSphere suite. To give you an overview, here's a picture about the architecture where you can see also the main parts like the server, the platform, and also the additional toolbox. And you can find also the integration to ShareCAD, to customer systems. Oh, it's German. Customer systems. And for us, it's also important to give our partners a SDK, a software development kit, which helps to build easier an asset administration shell. During the generation, it helps and creates valid, and that's important, valid asset administration shells. Because during the SPS, we got also a lot of asset administration shells from other partners, from other companies, and the data quality was really terrible. And that's why we created this AES validator, which helps us to find out what is wrong in the asset administration shells and give the feedback back to the supplier. And now we are working on the phase 2, and we start in, I think, end of January to have meetings with our consortium partners to discuss about the scope. We had 2 workshops in February, and at the moment we are consolidating also the requirements from our partners and also requirements from the market, from other interested parties, to find out which is the best next step. The next step has only 3 or 4 months, because several things change in few time, and that's why we only make a short time frame. In March, we will consolidate the complete scope of the phase 2, and hopefully we will have also alignment on the contract until end of March for the phase 2. And only to give you an overview about some most important topics, it's not a complete list, only most important topics. The push mechanism is a very important part, where we can push complete packages of asset administration shells to customer systems. We will have also a configuration, which asset administration shells should be sent to which customer system. And it's also an access control topic. And the next part is also the attribute-based access control. In the first phase, we have the role-based access control. And in the second phase, we will have also the attribute-based. We will have also an enhanced event mechanism. We will include also push notifications based on attributes, based on submodels, and not only for the complete asset administration shell. You have seen on 2 slides before that we have also already included the submodel time series data. And in the next phase, we will include also the handling of big amount of time series data itself, not only linking, we will include the data itself. And one topic which is in discussion is an enhanced search. It's a really big topic, and that's why we have at the moment the discussion whether we put it in the phase 2 or we put it in phase 3. Perhaps it is interesting for somebody of you to take part in the phase 2. It's open. And the benefits for the partners, you define the scope. And we are really happy about everybody who brings in needs, ideas, and we want only to do the right things. We want to do the things which the market really needs. And that's why, if you are interested, contact us. The prioritization is also done by the consortium partners and not by us. The consortium partners get also priority support during implementation and also during the service. And it gives you the chance to focus on generation of the AAS and not on AAS infrastructure. So it's easier, faster, and with less costs to get started, to be an early adopter. And I think Michael Riester always says it's something like a database. Nobody would create his own database, so let's buy such things. And I think the important benefit is extremely reduced service costs, extremely reduced subscription costs. And so if you are interested in taking part in phase 2, please visit us in our booth right in front of the door. So we would be happy to see us there.
Okay, now it's my turn. I want to talk to you about why digital twins are fun. Digital twins are fun. The asset administration shell is fun, and I can prove that. Because on the SPS, Britta already told you, we had this challenge, the Follow the Twin challenge. It was actually born, an idea born. I'm not even really completely sure if it was really Ricardo's or my idea, or if we just both jumped on each other and said, that's such a great idea, and somehow it mingled, and we came up with Follow the Twin challenge on the SPS, based on the asset administration shell, based on the AS platform, now called TwinSphere. And so we did this. We had a couple of companies that, besides the consortial partners, that created asset administration shells, loaded them up to our platform, and the people would walk over the SPS fair and try to collect all the digital twins. And one of the remarks afterwards was a lady. She said, "I've never had so much fun with the asset administration shell." Now, okay, to be very honest, the burden is quite low. Usually it's a topic that is not so fun, but bringing in some gamification effects really made it. So, and because of the success of this Follow the Twin challenge at the SPS, we had over 100 participants, 12 companies. We said, okay, let's do it again. But this time bigger. On the HMI 2024 in Hanover this year. The main idea is still the same. People would wonder about the fair and try to locate digital twins of assets of companies participating in the Follow the Twin challenge. So once they find such an asset, they scan the QR code. There's a special app. It's called the Follow the Twin Challenge app that we built. And it shows which assets are already found. And once a certain amount of assets are found, the participant is eligible to take part in a lottery of a quite big gift basket. So I think last time we had really great stuff in there, like Lego stuff. I wanted to take part, but I couldn't. Such a shame. And a lot of really cool stuff. And this time it's going to be even bigger. And there's something else that changed. Last time, the Follow the Twin Challenge was really born out of the component supplier group, out of the Consortial project, and it was really to showcase, okay, you can have a working, productive AAS platform and make fun of it with it. And this time, we said, okay, the digital twin, the asset administration shell, is all about interoperability. So one repository is not really transmitting or transferring this message. So this time, we'll have two repositories. We will have our repository from TwinSphere, the TwinSphere AAS platform, together with the discovery and registry and everything, and we'll have a second repository from Citaso based on the basics. Both repositories completely equal. Both repositories use the IDTA Type 2 API. Both repositories will provide certain asset administration shells from participating partners, which will be distributed randomly between the two repositories. And the user will either load the asset from the one repository or the other. We will design it in such a way that both repositories will host the same amount, and the user will have to search for the same amount of assets on both repositories. So how does it transfer the idea of interoperability? Well, it's two completely different backends. Both provide the same information, a nameplate, to one app. And in case the user wants to see more information on the digital twin, like documentation handover, technical data, maybe product carbon footprint or bill of material, then he will access from the Follow the Twin Challenge app a specific viewer, the Mnestics viewer by Citaso for shells, for administration shells that reside in the Citaso repository, or our TwinSphere viewer, which Britta already mentioned, if the shell is in our repository. So that means we take the fun idea of last time and we enhance it with the real business message that digital twins are interoperable and can bridge the boundaries between companies. So, I have to speed up a bit, I see. I will not do the Rüdiger, but sorry, Rüdiger, that was mean. I'm sorry. Okay, Britta already said. Last time we said, okay, to participate, all a company needs to do is hand over an asset administration shell to us. Minimum nameplate. If you want to have more submodules, fine. Just give it over to us. Everything will work out fine because it's AS. And if you create an AS based on the Package Explorer, it'll work. And then we had to find out, not quite sure. So there were a couple of things that could go wrong and that went wrong. And then in the very end, we found out that the specification has its weaknesses, so to say. Or maybe it's not really a weakness, but there's room for interpretation sometimes. And for that, we said, okay, to have this better this time, we said that every company that wants to take part in the Follow the Twin Challenge shall validate their own shells with a web tool where you just upload the ASX package, and if it doesn't completely comply with the IDTA standard in such a way that is really interoperable, you'll get a report that looks like this, and then you can open more detailed information. Why is it? For example, we had shells with over 500 XML issues last time, and now if you use this tool, you can tackle those down, and once you tackled everything, then you should have no issues. Which means you can just then send over the AAS to Christian Heinrich or to me, to Citaso, to Conpliment, or to the OI4. Maybe it's even better to make it for the OI4 and they send it over to us. Yeah, that's probably the better idea. And actually, now that I think we already decided on that. So, long story short, if you want to participate and want to experience why digital twins are fun and why digital twins are interoperable and can bridge the boundary between companies, then please contact us, contact the OI4. Christoph Fock was the main project lead for it. Now he's happy father, so Liane took over. Contact Liane, contact Christian Heinrich, contact me, regardless, and have fun with the administration shell. And I did the really good for 35 seconds.
Thank you very much, Christian and Britta. I think we also have some questions in Slido here. So we have one question from Anonymous, could be from here or our online people watching online. How do I benefit as a company outside the consortium to share my ideas and demands with the project? I guess that's someone who's not a member. An online request.
Yeah, or it's not a member of the consortium, perhaps.
Or not of the consortium, yeah.
One benefit is if you take part as a member in the phase 2, it's possible. Not only the members of the phase 1 can be part in the phase 2. Everybody can take part in the phase 2, and then you can get all the mentioned benefits on the last page, reduced service costs, and you are also involved in the prioritization and so on. So you can have the benefits. If you don't want to take part in phase 2, yeah, at the end, you can subscribe on the SaaS solution, TwinSphere. It's also possible, and you can, okay, only here. You can be sure that your requests, your needs are also implemented in the TwinSphere suite.
So it could be beneficial, actually, if you say you're not eager to be part of an implementation or development project, because that's not really your kind of doing, can be, yeah? But you still want to see your ideas being in, yeah, then bring it on, we'll implement it, and then later on you can, of course, become a customer.
We have more question regarding the validator. Where can I get the validator, and is the validation tool open source?
So, okay, two things. First, there's the validator itself is a CLI tool. Then we created a web application around this. So it's actually a web app. We provide the URL to all participants of the Follow the Trend Challenge in the next a couple of weeks. The deadline is anyways end of March to hand over the
I think the 29th of March.
29th of March.
Yes.
Every shell that is uploaded and validated is deleted right afterwards. That also means download the validation report, because you won't be able to do it the next day. Mm-hmm. It'll be gone.
Mm-hmm. So how does all of this fit into the OI4 reference architecture? I think this is going to be a long answer.
Yes.
So maybe...
No, it's a short answer.
Okay.
Perfectly.
Okay, good.
Perfectly.
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 Okay, it fits perfectly.
The short answer, the long answer is really, please come to our booth and then we'll talk about it, and I'll show you in the reference architecture where we fit in and all these things.
Yeah, we're going to also have a session on the reference architecture, or the reference guardrails, as we call them now, later on today. Or tomorrow, I'm not so sure right now.
Perhaps only to answer the open source question.
Yes.
Yeah. At the moment, it is not open source, but we plan to make it open source. Yeah. And we also want to include it in the ITTA open source repository, where they have a list of open source tools, and we will include it there.
Yeah, that's the other question.
And to the last one.
Yeah.
TwinSphere is actually based on the RS Coworks, and we actually are, as of now, a maintainer of a sub-project of the RS Coworks. That is the Java SDK. So TwinSphere itself, and our current SDK is based on C#. We created another SDK for Java now, even cooler, even greater SDK. It's really great fun, and we'll provide that back to the community.
And I would like to talk more about the Follow the Twin Challenge, the Hannover Messe edition. If you want to participate, just contact Christian or Britta outside at the booth. And in case you're going, and the bicycle here also has something to do with the Follow the Twin Challenge. This is going to be one of the prizes you can win, one of the main prizes.
It's so cool. So cool.
It's I don't want to try it out. You want to try it? It's a bit short. But this is going to be one. And another question, in case you're going to SPS Italy. We are thinking about maybe bringing the Follow the Twin Challenge to SPS in Italy.
Yeah.
I will send an email out to all our members in the next week, or maybe end of this week, asking who is going to, well, we know who's going to be there, but who would be willing to participate in the Follow the Twin Challenge in Italy, because it's
May, is it?
It's in May, end of May, and therefore we would also have to start planning a few meetings beforehand. Yeah.
So now to the last question: how do I know when I should use which? That is actually, I would say that is a consulting topic, because it really depends on your demands, as consultants usually say.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for your time and for explaining us your projects.
Thank you.
Thank you.